Yeah, so if you want something to come out of here, but to be honest, I mean, Arakawa, they pop back really quite easily.
Okay.
Same as any other maples. So what I would look at doing first off would be to just allow that branch to grow out a little bit, not like massively, but allow it to just kind of like extend a bit, which will do a couple of things. It'll put a little bit of extra thickness to it, which is beneficial, but it'll also have a lot more kind of like energy generation, energy flow going through that branch. And if you cut it back hard at some point, then there's a good chance you'll get buds popping somewhere along there, and then you can sort of build a branch from that. Because if you look there, see, look, there's buds forming in the base, so you've not really got any sort of massive concern about. Well, there's one there. You know, all you've got to do is just let that grow out, and so I'd be looking at doing something the same on there, and to increase your chance of that happening, just let anything grow out on that one. Okay, right, so I think front wise you're probably about there.
Okay.
One of the issues you've got with the tree is this kind of like big sort of swelling section, the U section kind of up there, and so that just kind of like minimises it a little bit, looking at it from there, because it makes this lower section here slightly wider. The current front, like here, that is the slimmest point, so it goes slim to quite thick, whereas if we just tweak it around a little bit, then that appears a little bit bigger. Okay, so I think that'd be the one thing. This branch does come out towards the front a little bit, but nothing too much. Okay, you can, you know, just tweak that branch around a little bit, tweak things around a little bit, and solve that problem. Okay.
Okay.
The roots all look fine at first glance, so no major problems there. Like I say, the root grafting, there isn't any hideously bad issues with it. Obviously, there's a bit of a gap in there. We'll clean that up and see what's going on under there. But is this for legal purposes as well, in case the tree dies after the root? So
the pot was really small, I thought.
it's a little on the small side. I mean, it'd be okay in there as long as you use like a good small size soil mixture, and you're really good with watering, and it gets repotted fairly frequently. You can kind of compensate for the small pot size, but it does run a risk of possible damage.
Yeah, it did have another branch lower than that one actually on the other side, but it came out here or something.
Oh yeah.
You cut it off for some reason.
Yeah, that is a bit low.
What about a bar branch a bit?
Yeah. This area's been a bit
Rotten.
not rotten, but it was choking itself. Yeah, like a long time ago. See, one of the reasons why there's no roots sort of coming out of here is because there's a root which kind of like comes underneath and folds back on itself, and that didn't get cut back. So there's a lot of wood under there. That's wood all under there. Whereas everywhere else it's just soil. So that's become sort of compacted in there a little bit. Something that should have been sorted out a lot longer. And see, a lot of these roots there are starting to turn a little bit black, which is like a sign of sort of anaerobic conditions, so not enough oxygen. Like you see the black colour, slightly black colour as opposed to the reddy. So this charcoal as well has got, this is inoculated with some beneficial bacteria.
Okay.
So this will also help with the sort of creating a good biome within the soil.
So do you sift the bigger granules at the bottom, or is it just the same size all over?
Yeah, so in the bottom there's the larger particles,
Okay.
which is in that
Oh,
bucket.
okay. Yeah.
There's a layer of that, and then this is all pre-mixed, as in, you know, I mixed it up myself, of Akadama, Kiryu and pumice,
So
about equal parts, and then
is it the same mix for all trees, or is it?
pretty much for, yeah, I use pretty much for everything, deciduous or conifers. For the pines, for example, I wouldn't use any of this small grain stuff. It's all just the larger particles, unless it's a tiny little Shohin one.
Okay.
And then for the deciduous, it's mainly this grade stuff. And then depending if it's like how you know, in development it is or not, I'll add maybe a little bit more pumice. So the more kind of like in development I'm kind of like looking at for it to be, and I'm still working on the Nabari, I'd have a little bit more of that, so that when it comes to the next repotting, like you can almost shake it all off because the pumice doesn't break down as much.
Yeah.
And so it's really easy to then repot next time, and that's really good for, that pumice is very, very good for getting lots of sort of fine roots. So and then this has all the, you know, as much dust sifted out as you possibly can when you put it in.
Yeah.
So it's planted a little deeper in the pot, just so that you're getting a little bit more, kind of, hopefully get a little bit more Nabari development close to the trunk. So we've cut back in a few places here and the back, and we're really looking to try and develop some roots close to the trunk. So that'll be able to sort of expose that a little bit more next time you come to repot it. But yeah, I'd probably go for a shallower pot next time.
So how long do you think it will be?
Definitely only leave it 2 years in this.
2 years.
And then look for a new pot, and also to come in and cut that root back at the back.
So you said new pot, which should be same size but shallower.
Yeah, so same size but shallower. You might be able to lose a little bit from, to be honest, like aesthetically, that sort of surface area is what you're going for. But yeah, a little bit shallower would be. So you just try and keep an eye on this area here, because it's
Yeah.
draining quite badly there because of the root that's underneath it. So. No, maybe not that bad.
Oh, so that's the carbon that you used, is it?
Yeah, the little black dots are all the charcoal. And there should be a fairly consistent amount throughout the soil mixture. But it is, because it's a little bit smaller particle size than the soil, always put that last, sprinkle that on the top last, and then work it in that way. So otherwise, as you're working it in lots with the soil, it just goes kind of like all the way down to the bottom. Get defoliated heavily. Like that's something that would have happened with that one. That one had been defoliated like too many times. And so, you know, making branches work will often help them to strengthen and to thicken.
Oh, this area is like going a bit crazy at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so ultimately you're going to want to come back to that, but I would do that another time, because the buds on that are close to dying and they're not very strong either. So just leave that one be for the time being, let it grow a little bit more, and then cut on that later. Leon!